Even though this is John from the Mercenary Miniature Painter, we're not going to do too much preamble tonight. We're going to get straight into it because it's a Saturday night and we got a few better things to do. Not as much as Warhammer, but we are back again with another battle report. Tonight, Scott is playing the Empire and I'm playing the Dwarves. We are doing the campaign, so this is a fight on the middle road by Malco. I can't remember what the road is, Scott, can you?
Silk Road, I
I
think.
think so. So Silk Road Central. We haven't played Taking Hold for a long time, so that is what we're going to do. We've rolled up all the objectives, so the centre point is there. I've placed one there and there, and Scott's placed his there, and then there's the deployment zone over there. So basically, at the end of the battle, the highest unit strength on each marker gets points. So the middle's worth 3, your opponent's is worth 5, your own's worth 1, and the two sides are worth 2. Winners who has the most points. Basically, because massacres only really count in this, we're playing, you need a 10-point swing to count as a massacre. So any 10-point swing will be a massacre. Other than that, it'll just be a win, whoever gets a point. So fingers crossed there shouldn't be a draw tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, so no victory points to reiterate. So kills don't matter, banners don't matter, generals don't matter. It's all just who's got the markers.
That's pretty much it, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, so
we've rolled out for spells. We're going to do the deployment, but first we're going to do the army showcases, which Scott will run you into now. So enjoy, everyone. I hope you like our battle reports and keep liking, subscribing, and commenting. We'll see you in a minute. So tonight for the Dwarves, we have got 10 Rangers. They are just Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I know they are the Quarreler models, but that was the best I could do for that.
Do they have crossbows as well?
No.
Or, you have to pay
for crossbow men and then upgrade them. So they are just dwarf weight weapon warriors. These are longbeards, hand weapon shields. And these are just normal dwarf warriors. They are not great weapons. They are just hand weapon shields. And the special, we got 19 hammerers. They do have shields as well. We paid the extra for that. And then we have 12 slayers. They are just slayers. No upgrades. And then in here we have 13 miners. They have a prospector in there. And then in the rare, we've got the gyrocopter. And then for the hero slot tonight, yeah, we got a dragon slayer. We got a Thane. She is a miner Thane, so she can go with the miners. And this is a Thane BSB because we couldn't find one with a banner painted. So he is a BSB. And then we have Ragnar himself. He is on foot, not on his shield bearers tonight, and that is 2,000 points of Dwarves.
And for the Empire tonight, I've been made to feel bad. I was thinking I was going to have to outshoot John, but he's not taking any shooting, so now I've just got a load of shooting. But given the scenario requires me to move forward, that's actually probably a bit of a detriment to me, unfortunately. So I've got 21 spearmen with full command, and they've got 10 handgunners as a detachment. I'll keep those as 2 lots of 5 for detachments. I've got 10 handgunners on their own. I've got 20 swordsmen full command with 6 crossbowmen as a detachment. And then I've got 8 white wolves in a circle with full command. Specials, I've got 5 pistoliers. I'll have to double check. I'm not sure they've got any upgrades at all on them, so I don't think I had any points. 2 great cannons, and I've got 2 filthy hellblasters in the rare. So a lot of artillery dice rolling tonight, probably a lot of misfires, so hopefully that'll be entertaining for people.
Fingers crossed.
And then Johan, this time Dwarf Slayer, last time Elf Slayer. He's been the beast of the campaign so far, going around smashing everyone. He's left his Griffin behind. I was expecting John to bring bolt throwers, so I left him away, but kind of wish I had him now. And then I've got 3 wizards with Lore of Metal, and I've rolled up. They've all got the magic missile.
They've all got Rule of Burning Iron.
Yep.
One's got Commandment of Brass,
which is this guy.
2. One's got Transmutation of Lead, which is a 3.
Which is him.
And then one's got Bane of Forged Steel, which is a 6.
So we'll see how that goes on. So we'll come back after deployment. So we're all deployed now. Empire in a tight gun line across the middle, with the Pistoliers in the backfield and the Knights of the White Wolf on the edge there. John's army, you might notice, seems to be quite far forward. What's that, John?
We got the Stroller's Rune on the BSB, so being combat dwarves without no anvil, we need a bit of a boost to start the game. So obviously, I got to do it. I got to announce it before we roll off and before turn 1. I know I've got a lot of shooting to get to, so even more, we're going to face the foot style it tonight. So we still got a few little tricks up our sleeves for you. Don't worry about that.
Nice one. Right, let's. So John's got the +1. We're gonna roll off now for first turn.
Please, dwarves.
Yes. And it is John comfortably. First turn.
Oh, oh, Scott. Yes.
All right. So we'll come back after dwarves turn 1.
Turn 1 for dwarves is probably the shortest in Warhammer history, I would imagine. So these 4 units just moved up 6, and the gyrocopter come just behind this wood here, and that is my turn 1. Do you want to skip your turn 1, mate, and we'll go straight to turn 2?
I think I might have a bit of a longer turn.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
We're giving you the option now. Over to you, my friend.
Thank you. Empire turn 1, not a lot moved. The White Wolves have come up in a flanking position. And then Magic, I got 3, what's it called? Rule of Burning Irons off. Sorry, no, I got 2 off, where I was just firing them at regular guys before John pointed out it's a single missile hit and you can cast it on anybody. So then the third time round I did try it on a Thane, but John stopped it. Didn't really try anything else. And then shooting, both my great cannons did hit the unit. John's got the banner of Grudge, which gives him a 5-up ward against shooting and magic missiles. So he saved the first one. Then the second one killed a single hammerer. And then these guys killed 2 longbeards. This one killed 4 slayers. These and these combined with the other Hellblaster, I think, killed 4 of the regular Dwarf Warriors, and that was it as those handgunners moved up. So pretty much another fairly simple turn, and now John's just going to keep coming at me, I imagine.
Oh, yes.
On to turn 2.
Dwarf turn 2, we actually killed some at this turn, so it wasn't just a complete walk up the table. But the miners, I did have the steam drill, luckily, because I rolled a 3, and then the steam drill, I rolled a 5, so they've come on in a lovely little position there. They have got Lady Helga in with them tonight as well, so they should be pretty tasty in combat, hopefully. The rest of the face to foot, Slayers come right up, these come straight up, these wheeled and come up, hopefully to stay out of a charge from these guys here, but we shall see. Rangers, great weapons just come round to there, so that is that. Gyro had ample range to get up to there, so that was all the movement, and then the Gyro and the shooting managed to kill 1 Hellblaster crew, and then kill another 4 swordsmen, so not too bad with the flame template. Take that for a turn 2. Scott's got a lot more shooting to get over, so we've got another turn of that to waver, and then we might be in business.
Turn 2 for the Empire. It was going so well. So not a lot of movement. So I did try to charge. I was going to go for the flank of these guys here, but John called the Rune of Challenge on his king, which forced me to charge them. I then failed to charge. So they didn't make it into combat, though luckily I am out of his charge range, so they shouldn't counter-attack me yet. Everything else, other than the Pistoliers, pretty much stayed put. Pistoliers just came up to try and deal with these miners to limited success. Magic phase was great. So I got the transmutation of lead? No, Commandment of Brass from this guy here onto the gyro, so it can't do anything in John's next turn. And then both of these guys managed to do the magic missile on John Stain. He let the first one through, but took a wound, so tried to stop the second one. And even with 2 dice, only needing a 4, I think you still only rolled a 3, didn't you?
He deserved it.
So he died.
And he had 2 saves at it as well with the Banner of Grudge.
Yeah, so he was in.
And he's T5 as well, so you were still forced to wound him. It was pretty unlikely it was going to happen. But...
I got some nice dice rolling, but then I got greedy and I tried to do the big one. I can't remember what it's called now. That I needed an 11 plus 4 and I miscast, and the orange wizard there has now lost a power level and you can't cast that spell.
You rolled the 11 you needed to get the spell off.
I did. Not what I wanted though. And then shooting. So I chipped away a bunch of wounds. The cannons have been thwarted a little bit by the Banner of Grudge, so they both killed 1 each. One didn't bounce. The other one would have killed a second one, but the banner saved him. The crossbowman here killed...
I think they bannered a Grudge, don't they?
No, yeah, I would have got 2 wounds on the Slayers, but they were saved. I think these did 3 more wounds, and John saved 2 of them, so only 1 Slayer went down, I think.
So, yeah.
And I think I killed 1 Dwarf Warrior. Over here, my Hellblaster, not having to worry about the gyro yet, blew away most of this unit. But
they didn't have no Banner of Grudge.
No, they did not. So they passed their panic, but they are maybe not in a great position now to challenge my handgunners, which is nice. Sadly, though, the one that was important, the Hellblaster that was here, turned its guns behind and it immediately misfired, immediately rolled a 1 and exploded. So that's gone now, which put a bit of a dampener on my turn, as these are in a bit of an inopportune position for me. So let's see if John can take advantage of that in turn 3. He's happy about this one.
Oh, Big Dwarf turn 3, and my Lady Helga, she's one of my favourites. She's in with the miners tonight with the Brotherhood rune, and they've just butchered some spearmen. So in the movement phase, obviously they charged the flank of the spearmen. Scott debated what to do. Obviously the spearmen were going to flee there. He could cause a load of panics in his turn, and they could still not outrun the charge. So it was a difficult one, where he was going to go or what he was going to do. These charged the handgunners as well. Scott stood and shot, and he did manage to kill...
No, I did that in the combat.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you didn't kill anything in that. So that was the charges, the movement. These guys have swarmed over this way, and then the hammerers have come as far as close as they can to the knights. And then the gyro couldn't shoot or move, so there was no shooting. And then in the combats, I only killed 1, annoyingly, and Scott killed 1 back, but I passed my break test. And then with the Thane and the miners, we killed 5 spearmen. Scott's champ didn't do anything back, and he lost combat by 5. The 5 kills, flank and a rank, and then he only had banner and outnumber. So he broke, which caused the pistoliers to panic, and they ran off the table. The crossbowmen were fine, and the handgunners were fine. Scott rolled an 8, and the mighty dwarves, the mighty quick miners, rolled a 9. So I caught Scott on the 8. They've obviously come in here and maximised for the charge, and that is how it lies after Dwarf turn 3. The Empire got a bit to do now, but remember, there's not just points on offer, it is about objectives.
Empire turn 3. I was almost ready to pack up and have an early night, but it's turned around a little bit. So in terms of what was going on, I think so. The White Wolves charged the Hammerers, and that was about it. These guys reformed because they were expecting these guys to just to wipe out that other unit and overrun into them. Magic phase was brilliant. Despite only having 1 guy, I managed to do a wound to the gyrocopter, and then I stopped it from moving again because I rolled an irresistible force. And then in the shooting phase, in the movement, that cannon moved back because it couldn't see anything before. That cannon had a line on these guys, and they don't have the banner anymore because he died last turn. But of course, it misfired, and it couldn't fire.
The banner was on
The other
the
unit.
Hammerers.
Ah, right.
So they would have probably been all right because they were within 6. It was the Slayers that wouldn't have got it.
Ah, that's right. Anyway, it misfired, let me down when it was crucial. The crossbowmen didn't do any wounds. Handgunners over here didn't do any wounds, but the Hellblaster did 18 wounds to the gyrocopter, and it's gone. Sorry, I did 18 hits and 12 wounds, so it was unceremoniously booted out of the game. In the combat phase, these have continued to do me proud and somehow are still there. 2 turns of combat they've held up now, so they're probably going to crumble away next turn, but they've done well to stay there for as long as they have. The handgunners, this unit of handgunners that were in the middle, they were broken by the miners' flanking charge, and 5 of them were killed, but they did outrun them, which was great. But even better, Johan Selbei might be the man of the hour. He is an absolute monster of the Border Princes. So he charged into the unit of Hammerers, fully expecting just to get spanked, but just given that this game we're not playing for victory points, and I thought there wasn't really a way to get out of it. I didn't want to just keep away all game. It's boring. So he charged in. John called a challenge with his lord on my champion. My champion did 2 wounds to the lord before he was cut down himself. But Johan did 3 wounds, so he killed 3, and then I think I killed 3 more with the unit. And then John rolled an 11 for a break, gleefully re-rolled it, and then remembered he doesn't have a BSB anymore, so had to take the re-roll back, and then was run down. So that's put me back in the game, because it was all going wrong. But now I've trashed his big unit, and I've got a bead on that backfield objective. So John's actually got to start playing objectives again now and try and get one over on me. So it is Dwarves turn 3.
Right, Dwarf turn 4, pretty non-event. The miners charged the detachment that was here. Scott did to flee, and they fled far enough to get away from me. But I've ended up there. I couldn't really get through or anything else like that. I didn't really want to redirect to these. Me and Scott were at arrows in the front, and it would just be a bit of a weird clip. And so it really wouldn't favour me to be going in there. The rest of the moves, everything sort of realised they've done their job at this end, so they're coming back now to try and save Ragnar's ass, because he's cost us in the middle, so we need to start picking up some objectives. And that was all the movement. The only fight was over here. This guy, Scott, did a wound to me, and then I didn't kill anything back, but he stuck in there. So that was how that went. Pretty tame turn 4. Let's see what Scott can do in his turn 4.
Fairly short and sweet turn. Annoyingly, my Hellblaster crew fled from the fleeing handgunners, because these were not their detachment originally.
I've got combat with you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we've got a combat we've forgotten about. So I got, come on, let's see if my 3 handgunners can do another wound. No. Oh, he's hitting back. He's killed one for a tight combat, so he's going to hold for another turn. But yeah, nothing else really happened. They rallied. This thing killed 1 or 2? 2. Killed 2. And then this one I opted not to fire because I could only maybe clip 2 of those guys. Might have overshot and killed my own stuff, and more worryingly could just explode. So I'd rather have the threat of the cannon there just to defend the objective. So John's turn 5.
All right, very good turn 5 for the Dwarves, even though there was only, was it 3 dice rolled?
Yeah.
So the movement, the Slayers have come up their maximum to there. Obviously, there's an objective just over there. The miners have just basically moved themselves. So if the swordsmen want to charge them, and if they beat them, they'll be running off up there somewhere. Helga hopped out the unit and come her full 6 up to there. And then these have just pressed on the objective there, and the Longbeards have pressed on the objective there to obviously try and hold the White Wolves off. And then the 3 dice that were rolled, the big 3 dice, because it's helped me out massively. So this guy here, Scott did wound him, but I saved, and then he killed one. I obviously won combat by 1 because he didn't outnumber me now, and Scott broke from combat. And what's more is that detachment there, they fear panic from it, so they've gone as well. The wizard did stick around though, so I might be able to get lucky on this objective now, which is good. And we sort of got these secured, but there's one over there, so we'll see what we can do and see what Scott can do in his turn 5.
Not bad Empire turn, not as spectacular as it could have been, but I'm not going to moan too much, seeing as I was in a real bad place come turn 2. So now it's turn 5, I'm quite happy. So Johan's jumped out to grab that main backfield objective for himself, so that's pretty much guaranteed. That one's mine. These ones moved forward enough to not be charged next turn and then turned around. Wizards jumped back over there. These guys rallied. The spearmen charged the miners, and these reformed, and the cannon has moved back to be a sort of second line of defense for when that cannon gets wiped out by the slayers. Magic, once again, even though John's got pretty much parity of dice now, he still failed to stop me from casting the spell on Helga, the magic missile, but fortunately for him, it's the first time I failed to roll to wound. So he's still in the game over here. And then shooting, I got a nice big grape shot that mowed down 5 more slayers. So they're in a fairly bad position now. And then into the combat, I only killed 1, but John did nothing back. He only did 1 wound and I saved it. So he's lost. He rolled a mighty 12, but then he also rolled a mighty 12 for running away. So I didn't quite catch him. So that's where we've left it. It's pretty much in the balance. John's got the 2 middle. This one's still contested. I've got his backfield, but he's probably going to take my backfield. So it really is going to be a crucial final turn for both of us. So we'll come back with the Dwarves turn 6. Last turn for the Dwarves.
For how much death there's been, I haven't felt like I've rolled many dice. To be really honest, I don't know. I was happy.
To be fair, a lot of my stuff ran away.
Yeah, it did, and a lot was like big overruns and like run down. So there was 2 charges. The hero quarreler went into the wizard, and Dragon Slayer charged out the unit into the cannon crew, and then so that was it. The rest of the movement, the miners did rally. So I finagled them. If Scott charges me, he'll have to run off that direction. The Slayers marched up through there to try and keep the crossbowmen as far away as possible, which hopefully they should have done. And then these guys here reformed on the spot. The janky rules of Warhammer, I'm afraid. So Scott's now in my flank, so he'd have to charge through the woods to get me. So they done that, and basically it just left the Longbeards to, obviously they're going to have to take the charge on that objective there. But hopefully I'm far enough away to keep Scott sort of away from it, or they're a bit more hardier than them. So I'm hoping they can take it a bit better. In the combat, Scott fled that one over there, so there was no combat. And then this hero over here, after fighting off handgunner after handgunner, he's done a wound to the wizard. The wizard, thank Christ, didn't kill him, and he broke. So he's fled down here. I didn't catch him. We both rolled a 9, but obviously I pursue 1 inch less. So that's how it's all ended. A big turn 6 for Scott, which does make a lot of difference in taking hold. Let's see what he can try and do.
Final turn. Not too bad, but not quite enough by the look of it. So the White Wolves charged the Longbeards in the middle. Wizard rallied. They've rallied. They've rallied. These guys had to charge the Slayers because they were march blocked and couldn't have got close enough to the objective. Otherwise, these guys charged the miners. As you can see, they have beaten the miners and chased them away. They didn't catch them though. These guys did be proud. They killed a Slayer.
That's what we needed to do.
Which is all I needed to do. So he couldn't strike back, and I was within range of the objective, and I've got a bigger unit strength than anybody there. So they've stopped John. There's only
tell everyone about your spiteful magic phase first. Actually.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So after rallying, he was very upset with that ranger who's been giving me grief all game. So he threw a burning molten lead in his face and has killed him. It would have made more sense to go for the Thane if I'd wounded her previously, but because she got lucky in previous turns, one time me not wounding and another time her saving, she is alive over here, and it wasn't worth going for it, so I just went for the spiteful bolt to the face. As I said, they did me proud. These have done me proud. These let me down. They only did, was it one wound?
Mate,
and that wasn't enough. So I lost the fight. Did stick around thanks to Johan hanging around in the background there, encouraging them, but they didn't kill enough to whittle the unit down. I needed to kill, ideally, another 3, and then I would have had enough on the objective that one would have been mine, and I would have won the game, but I didn't do it. So John has got 7 points for 2, 2, 3, and I've got 6 points for 5 and 1. So a little win for the Dwarves, which I did say before the battle, as much as I am not, I've got too much pride to throw again, is actually probably campaign-wise worse for John, because now the Dwarves are marching into High Elf territory.
It's definitely a harder matchup for High Elves.
Yeah, and the Empire are also still in your territory, whereas if the Empire had won, they'd have both moved away from you and given you some breathing room. So I do need that, because my Dark Elves aren't really doing enough on their own. They need the rampaging Empire. But that is now a loss for the Empire. So
they're on 2 losses. One
more loss, and they're going to have to pack and go home. Although I think so far he has been the most brutal leader of any of the armies, is Mr. Johan over there. I think
he's got a touch of corn. He said it was tainted in the waste many years ago. He just seems to he's just attacking everyone and anyone.
I'm saying his Sigma runs through his veins, or Ulrich, because he's with the White Wolves. Maybe he's got a bit of a wolf in him.
I don't know. He looks quite coated up there, and he's trying to hide a few eyes. If I'm perfectly honest, I think the witch hunters should get involved.
Well, he's in the Border Princes, so he'll get away with it as long as his army sticks around. Cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one. Oh no, I've not even done the summary, have I? Oh, I did it in the team.
We added up the points, didn't we? You would have actually won in the points.
Yeah, points wise, I would, but we did agree if it wasn't for the objectives, we both probably would have played quite differently. I would have definitely, after taking that spanking at the beginning, would have played a bit more cagey. I did expect that Stroller's Rune, to be fair, but it does what it does. Otherwise, I'd had another 2 turns shooting.
Stroller's Rune and me getting first turn, and the miners coming on first turn. So that steam drill paid for itself, because if they had failed that first one and not come on when they did, I could have been a bit more brown trousers having to get out the table. Yeah,
and I think for me, like, crucially, none of the artillery really did what it needed to do at the point it was important. I got loads of.
You done 16 wounds on a gyrocopter one turn.
But I did. I got lots of. They did loads of damage. They did well at the beginning, but just not when it's really crucial, and they could have really blown stuff away. Like this cannon had a nice bead on the Longbeards at one point, and then it misfired. That one at the end there, if they hadn't have fled, I could have blown away those miners, and my swordsman could have contested that objective, but it wasn't to be.
That banner of Grudge helped quite a bit for me. 5 up wards against the shooting. That kept quite a lot of troops on the table.
Yeah, that's true.
Which now at the end of the game is looking pretty vital in being able to hold the objectives.
And I think we both agree from the tournament scene, this is probably our favourite scenario, one of our favourites.
I do like this one, yeah.
We were saying then, if it weren't for the scenario, I think this could have been a really boring one, because it would have been a case of, can I shoot him off the table, or can he hit me before that happens and roll me off? But because we all had to suddenly do a big load of wheeling around, and messing around at the end, it did make it really tight, despite the... It
was quite funny pressing you to like turn 4, and then everyone just doing an about face and just like coming back to try and get everything.
The thing with the Dwarves is you're always at the mercy of just hoping you keep enough stuff around, because you're never going to maneuver to take enough objectives. I think she's probably your MVP, because if that if she wasn't available to run off and do all that on her own. I mean, seeing as they came on over here,
For a dwarf, she's gone a long way.
she's torn through several units of handgunners.
Caused quite a few panics.
I do have some regrets about the beginning, about how I handled that minus combat. I probably should have fled voluntarily and gone the other way. John did point out I could have used my crossbows to block, but I was obsessed with trying to ping shots off. So
You're desperate to kill those slayers, weren't you?
Yeah, like you said, there's too much corn in my blood. I just wanted to kill everything.
You had Johan's hubris, and you just wanted to kill everyone.
Anyway, this has been another battle. Nice one, John.
Hello, mate.
Let's get packed up and go home because it is late. But thank you, everyone. Like, subscribe, and continue watching the campaign.